Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasani Balachandra.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipuranachi, and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. The Public Utilities Commission says no more power cuts until further notice. The number of COVID-infected persons exceeds the 1,000 mark today as well. Administering of the booster dose on the institutional level continues. A new corona control plan for the Beijing Winter Olympics. The Prime Minister instructs to commence vocational courses targeting foreign jobs. A special island-wide program to plant 7.5 million saplings to commemorate the Independence Day. Constructions in the Residence Cote luxury housing complex begin. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The Norachole coal power plant station, which has remained dysfunctional, has been restored to normalcy. The Public Utilities Commission said today that power cutbacks will not be carried out until further notice. One of the 3 coal power plant stations in Norachole has become inactive due to sudden power breakdown on the 3rd of December last year. As a result, the national grid was deprived of 300 megawatts of electricity. The loss has been a major reason for the power cutbacks in the recent past. However, the malfunctioning station were reactivated last night. Minister Gamini Lokoge said that Norachole power plant supply will around 270 megawatts of electricity from today. He added that there had been an oil shortage at the Kalanithisa, Sapugaskanda and Harbour power plant stations. The minister further said that, however, these plants are now receiving oil. Therefore, there would not be any problems pertaining to fuel. A challenging situation has been prevailing for a period of 3 weeks with regard to normalization of power network. However, these challenges have been overcome through management strategies. The Public Utility Commission says as a result of the continuous power supply, the country was able to save 31 billion rupees. Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, Janak Ratnayaka, said that the country would have incurred a loss of 31 billion rupees. However, power cuts were enforced as a result of economic cost of energy loss.
The Director General of Health Services has extended till the 28th of February the new health guidelines scheduled to become effective till midnight tonight. The number of daily reported COVID-infected persons in the country has exceeded the 1,000 level yesterday as well after a lapse of 4 months. 1,082 COVID-19 afflicted patients have been reported today.
There has been questions raised about the expiry of vaccine stocks available in Sri Lanka. Yes, all these vaccines are having an expiry date, but when we purchase these vaccines, we consider the expiry date, and only those who are having the long expiry dates are allowed to bring into Sri Lanka. So therefore, all the vaccine stocks that we are having at this moment, ample shelf life, even those who are having the shortest expiry dates also having 2-3 months ahead. So therefore, the question of expiring the vaccine will not arise at present. However, we need to emphasize the fact that unless people come to get this vaccine, and if these vaccines are not utilized, one day these vaccines will be expired. To prevent that, what we need to do is to get the vaccines as early as possible. So I would like to request all the citizens of the country to get the required vaccine as early as possible, so that you will be getting vaccine that is having a very long shelf life ahead, and the likelihood of any adverse problems and other things will be also minimal. And at present, we will be giving ones that are having the shortest expiry date, and we should be able to use those vaccines before their expiry. However, everything depends on the presentation of our people to get this vaccine. So what we need is to encourage people to get the vaccine as early as possible.
Mobile vaccination programs for the administering of the booster dose being conducted by the 3 armed forces centering on several districts in the island have taken place today as well. The Sri Lanka Army Medical Corps has conducted a booster dose inoculation program for the staff at the Department of Registration of Persons today. The total number of doses of vaccine inoculated on the people in the country under the COVID immunization program has been 35,764,626. The first dose has been delivered on 16,647,015 persons. The number of persons who have received both doses of the vaccine is 13,917,564. The booster dose has been delivered on 5,200,047 persons. The Department of Examinations and the Ministry of Health have jointly embarked upon a special program to conduct the GCE Advanced Level Examination scheduled to commence on the 7th of next month, according to health guidelines. The Department of Railways say that several train journeys have been cancelled today as a result of several railway guards being afflicted with the coronavirus. The 14 train travels cancelled included 6 train journeys on the main route, 3 journeys in the Putlam line, 2 journeys in the coastal line and 2 journeys in the Kalani Valley line. The Director General of Health Services have confirmed 21 COVID-19 related deaths which have occurred yesterday. 14 of the fatalities were of the age of 60 and above. 5 victims were between the ages of 30 and 59 years and the remaining 2 fatalities were below the age of 30 years.
And meanwhile, COVID-19 has infected more than 375 million and has killed over 5.6 million worldwide. Meanwhile, the organizing committee of the Beijing 2022 Winter Games has said that China detected has new 37 cases of COVID-19 among Olympic Games related personnel. According to a notice on the Games officials' website, 8 of the total are reported athletes or team officials who have tested positive after arriving at the airport yesterday. Mainland China has reported 58 new COVID-19 cases during the past 24 hours. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in mainland China now stands at 106,073, while the death toll remained unchanged at 4,636. Meanwhile, a freedom convoy of trucks joined by thousands of demonstrations has brought Ottawa to a virtual standstill for a second day to protest Canada's vaccine mandates, masks and lockdown as other truckers blocked a border highway into the United States. The protest organized last week in Western Canada, where dozens of truckers organized a convoy to drive from Vancouver to the Canadian capital Ottawa to demonstrate against COVID-related restrictions, particularly a recent vaccination requirement for truck drivers crossing the long United States-Canada border. Trucks began arriving in Ottawa in multiple convoys and were later joined by thousands of other anti-vaccination protesters. The United Kingdom has recorded its lowest number of coronavirus cases in just over a month as the Omicron variant has begun to recede. In parts of the country are reportedly being fully open. Nearly 62,400 people have been tested positive for the virus, representing a decrease of 6.5% comparison to the virus in the previous week.
Any more local stories? Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed the Vocational Training Institute today to commence vocational training courses targeting foreign employment. He has given the instructions at a meeting at the Temple Trees today. The meeting was conducted with government officials engaged in conducting vocational training courses. The need to direct youth who leave school education as trained labour for foreign jobs has been reiterated on this occasion. The Prime Minister has further stated that a short-term training should be given to those without vocational skills and they should also be directed to the foreign job market. State Minister Priyanka Rajayaratne has made a clarification on the foreign job opportunities. It has also been disclosed at the meeting that there are nearly 185,000 job vacancies in 22 countries. Ministers Nimal Siripala de Silva and Nama Rajapaksa and State Minister Sitaram Epula, Prime Minister Secretary Anuradha Dissanayake, Chief of Staff of the Prime Minister's Office Yoshitha Rajapaksa have also attended the meeting.
And all arrangements are being made to celebrate the 74th National Independence Day in a grand scale. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will preside over the main Independence Day ceremony. The theme of this year's commemoration is A Prosperous Motherland and a Bright Tomorrow, Overcoming Challenges. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that up to now we have been commemorating only Right Honourable D.S. Senanayake at the Independence Day. He added that however there were others also who have shouldered with him in bringing independence to the country. The minister added that therefore they have decided to remember those persons as well with floral tributes. Troops numbering 3,463 personnel of the Sri Lanka Army, 919 persons of the Navy and 804 Sri Lanka Air Force personnel are scheduled to participate in this year's National Independence Day Parade on the 4th of next month. 336 Sri Lanka police officers as well as 282 police special task force officials and 437 Civil Defence Department personnel are also scheduled to participate in the parade. Defence Secretary Retired General Kamal Gunaratne at a media briefing at the Department of Government Information Nation today said that a total number of 6,500 security forces personnel will present themselves in the parade in addition to 259 persons of the National Cadet Corps. Defence Secretary retired General Kamal Gunaratne said that all necessary measures are being taken to conduct the parade by following the health guidelines to the letter. He further said that an all-night parade chanting ceremony will be conducted at the Independence Square on the 2nd and an alms giving to the Mahasangha at the Gangarama Vihare in Hunapitiya in the morning on the 3rd of next month. The Defence Secretary also said that religious observances will be conducted in other religious places as well in the morning on the 4th of next month in connection with the National Independence Day ceremony. Planting of 7.5 million saplings island-wide in parallel to the 74th National Independence Day celebrations is also scheduled to be conducted on the instructions of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Navy, Vice Admiral Nishant Tulagitana says that a 25-gun salute will also be accorded on behalf of the nation from the Gajabahu ship of the Sri Lanka Navy. Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Patrana says that the pride of Sri Lanka Air Force will be demonstrated through the performance of 50 air pilots in 26 aircraft in the Independence Day ceremony. Senior DIG in charge of the Western Province, Deshabandhu Tennakon, has clarified on the security arrangements and more traffic plan to be implemented in connection with the main Independence Day ceremony. Senior DIG in charge of the Western Province, Deshabandhu Tennakon, said that only the necessary roads will be kept closed for the rehearsals of the parade in order to minimize the difficulties being experienced by the general public. Travel restrictions in this connection will be enforced from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Minister of Trade Bandula Gunawardena says that measures have been taken to maintain a stable level on the prices of coconuts being sold by the Sathasa marketing network. Accordingly, the minister has stated at a media briefing today that a coconut of a substantially bigger size will be sold at the price of 75 rupees throughout this year. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that different prices are being charged in the sale of coconuts. He added that therefore they have entered into an agreement with the Coconut Development Board to sell a large coconut at the maximum price of 75 rupees through the Sathasa shops throughout this year. The minister further said that each customer is entitled to purchase 5 nuts. He further said that those who are unable to purchase nuts could receive coconut milk from 2 export quality coconuts at the price of 150 rupees from the Sathasa retail outlet. He also said that if the coconut prices come down in the market, the Sathasa will also reduce the prices accordingly. However, even if there is an increase in coconut prices, the Sathasa will continue to sell a nut for 75 rupees. The program will first get underway in the Colombo district. Minister Bandula Gunawardena also said that at a time when the consumers are being subjected to difficulties, the government is taking measures to stabilize the prices of essential commodity items such as rice and coconuts. The minister further said that a stability in the price of sugar will also be made shortly. Minister Ramesh Patirana said that there is an excellent demand for Sri Lanka coconuts in the international market. As a result, the country has secured an income of nearly $850 million from the coconut exports in 2021. The minister has also expressed hope of receiving an income of more than $1 billion from coconut-related products this year. He further said that they are anticipating an income exceeding $1.5 billion annually in the next 5 years from the coconut sector. The Lanka Sathasa and the Coconut Development Authority have signed the agreement.
And meanwhile, cultivations based on the application of organic fertilizer are being successfully conducted in many parts in the island. The main objective of the program is to enrich the future generation with a food pattern devoid of poisons. Harvesting of paddy in lands cultivated with organic fertilizer has commenced in Vaunia, Poonavar and Madavacha has commenced yesterday. The farmers say that they are receiving bountiful harvest from organic farming. Harvesting in the Nilwaka paddy field in the Kegol Divisional Secretariat Division has also begun yesterday. The farmers say that they are reaping a successful harvest from 30 acres of paddy lands. A story of a farmer who has received a harvest from more than 80 bushels of paddy from an acre in the Maha season using organic fertilizer has been reported from Panduvas Nuvara. The lucky farmer is Chatura Tilakaranaika, who had cultivated his Vate Kumburaya in Bingure using organic fertilizer in properly following the instructions.
Constructions in the proposed Residence Kote luxury housing complex in Thalapatpitiya, Sri Javatanapura have commenced today. A sum of 1,361 billion rupees is being spent on the project, comprising of 240 housing units. The project is being constructed in a 2-acre land belonging to the Urban Development Authority. It will be a 20-floor building based on 2 columns. Each floor has 6 housing units comprising 2 or 3 bedrooms. The ICC company is in charge of the construction activities. State Minister Nalaka Gudaheva has presided over today's event.
And the newly appointed secretary to the President Gamini Senarath has called on Mahanaika Theras of Malvatu and Asgiri chapter and received blessings. Secretary Senarath have first visited the Malvatu chapter and met Mahanaika Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Siddhartha Sumangala Thera. Thereafter, he has arrived at Daskiri Mahavihara and called on Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Jnanaratana Thera and Mahanaika Thera. The Mahanaika Theras have pointed out that the President Secretary has been entrusted upon a large responsibility to make reality the Vision of Prosperity program on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has requested the police to conduct a systematic and unbiased investigation into the attack launched at a meeting of the National People's Power in Kalagitiheda, Gampaha yesterday. He has made the request in a letter to the Inspector General of Police. The minister in his letter has pointed out the need to impose stern punishments to those who have conducted the attack as well as those who have aided and advised on this incident, disagreeing their ranks. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has also submitted a letter in this regard to the President. He has requested in this letter to focus special attention and personal attention on the incident and to provide necessary instructions to the IGP and to the relevant divisions. Minister Ranatunga has further stated that the people in the Gampaha district will not approve such shameless incidents. He also pointed out that he has a strong doubt that this attack was carried out with the intention of breaching the trust placed upon the government, including the President.
The Treasury has taken measures to allocate a further 500 million rupees for the development of viharas in remote areas. This is in addition to the 100 million rupees reserved in this regard through the recent budget. The new allocations have been made according to a request of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. This fact was disclosed at a media briefing of the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs. Secretary to the Ministry of Buddha Sasana and Religious Affairs, J.C. Ranepura, said that they are receiving assistance amounting to $2.89 billion from the Indian government for the development of Buddhist places of worship. The funds are to be received within 5 years under 7 projects. Accordingly, the country will receive annually a sum of $578 million. The money will be spent to improve infrastructure facilities in the viharas. 1,448 viharas will be provided electricity facilities. We Evolve Mental Health Awareness Program, organized by the ISEC in Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology, was held in Battaramulla recently. ISEC is considered as one of the world's largest youth organizations that focuses on peace and humankind's potential. We Evolve is a mental health awareness program organized by ISEC in Slit, mainly focusing on the importance of mental health and well-being. The event consisted of a panel of guest speakers as well as live exercise sessions, sharing space and many other events.
Leadership experiences for youth, and then we have been driving with various discussion on matters most for the youth.
There were many sessions on mental health and mental health illnesses, and most of our speakers talked about what can mental health do to our young generation and how we can overcome. So some of our speakers came up with certain strategies that our youth can use when hit by depression and when hit by other illnesses such as severe stress. With these events, we hope that the audience achieved their target of finding their own source of motivation, and hopefully this would be a source of inspiration for those who are being affected by mental health.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.